Imagine this, June 1942, Midway. No American aircraft carriers, just one modern Arleigh Burke-class destroyer sitting alone in the water. It changes everything. Here are the fast numbers. One DDG-51 carries 96 VLS cells. Inside, SM-2 and SM-6 missiles for long-range targets. ESSM quad-packed for mid-range, CIWS for terminal defense. Three-dimensional Aegis radar sees everything out to tens of nautical miles. An MH-60R helicopter hunts submarines and extends the ship's eyes. A 5-inch gun that fires out past 20 kilometers. Speed, over 30 knots, electronic warfare suite with chaff, decoys and jamming. No resupply available. No friendly port within 1,000 miles. What it carries is all it gets. Now the other side. The Japanese fleet at Midway fielded 4 carriers. Akagi, Kaga, Soryu and Hiryu. Combined air wing, roughly 200 to 250 aircraft. Mitsubishi A6M Zeros for fighter cover. HED-3A dive bombers, Nakajima B-5N torpedo bombers. Top speed for most, around 200 to 250 knots. No airborne radar, no guided missiles. No encrypted radios. Formations fly tight, predictable and visible. The American side historically had 3 carriers and about 200 aircraft. In this scenario, they're gone. The destroyer replaces the entire carrier air umbrella. Not with planes, with layers. Here's how the layers work. Detection comes first. The Aegis radar paints incoming raids while they're still over the horizon. The system classifies them. Speed, altitude, bearing, and rough count. The helicopter adds another 60 to 80 nautical miles of search coverage when seas allow. That means the destroyer knows what's coming 15 to 20 minutes before visual contact. In 1942, that's impossible for everyone else. Layer 2, long-range fires, SM-6. Missiles reach out beyond 50 nautical miles with active radar homing SM-2 and covers area defense at shorter ranges but still measured in dozens of miles. Against slow, non-maneuvering targets with no electronic countermeasures, hit probability is very high. Each missile tracks, corrects and closes at several times the speed of sound. A dive bomber doing 200 knots has no chance to evade. One missile, one kill most of the time. Layer 3, mid-range. SSM, evolved Sea Sparrow missile, quad-packed into single VLS cells. That means 4 missiles per cell. Effective range, shorter than SM-2, but still enough to engage before weapon release range for torpedoes or bombs. These are fast, agile, and designed to hit maneuvering jets. Against 1940s canvas and aluminum airframes, they're overkill. But overkill works. Layer 4, terminal defense. The 5-inch gun can fire airburst rounds and put up a curtain of steel. The CIWS close-in weapon system is a 20mm rotary cannon that spits thousands of rounds per minute in the final seconds. Radar tracks the inbound, computer calculates the intercept, gun follows. If anything gets through the missiles, it dies here. Layer 5, electronic warfare and maneuver. Chaff clouds confuse primitive optical bomb sights. The ship can turn hard, change speed, and spoil targeting solutions. Decoys create false radar returns. In 1942, there's no counter to any of this. Now here's the part that matters. The destroyer doesn't just survive the first wave, it shreds it. A typical Japanese strike package might be 30 to 40 aircraft, fighters, dive bombers, torpedo bombers. The destroyer starts shooting at long range. SM-6 takes the first 10 to 15 before they're even close. SM-2 and ESSM clean up the next 15 to 20 as they approach. CIWS and the 5-inch gun handled the last few leakers. Total time from detection to last kill, maybe 12 minutes. Total VLS cells expended, 25 to 35, depending on shot doctrine and leakers. The Japanese lose the entire strike package. The destroyer takes 0 hits. The math is brutal, but here's the catch. 96 cells sounds like a lot. It isn't. Not for hours of sustained combat. Not when the enemy can launch wave after wave, and definitely not when there's no reload at sea. The dominance is real, but it's on a clock. Let's walk through what happens when the first real raid comes in. This is where theory meets physics. June 4th, early morning. The Japanese launched their opening strike against Midway Island. Historically, this was over 100 aircraft. In our scenario, the destroyer is positioned 15 miles northwest of the atoll. Radar sweeping, helicopter airborne for sub-patrol. At 0630 hours, Aegis picks up the raid at 70 miles out. Bearing northwest. Altitude mixed, some low, some medium. Speed 200 knots, steady. Count approximately 108 contacts. The system sorts them automatically. Tight formations, no evasive maneuvers, predictable track. Perfect targets. The destroyer's combat system calculates intercept windows. Long-range missiles have about 8 minutes of flight time at max range. That means the ship can start shooting at 60 miles and hit targets before they reach 40 miles. The decision is automatic. Fire doctrine, 2 SM-6 per high-value target, 1 SM-2 per medium threat. First salvo, 12 SM-6 missiles leave the VLS in under 20 seconds. Smoke, flame, vertical launch. They arc over, tip toward the horizon, go active. Radar seekers lock onto the lead elements of the formation. 6 dive bombers die at 52 miles out. Pilots never see what hit them. Just sudden impacts, fireballs, debris spiraling into the ocean. The Japanese don't know what's happening. Their radios crackle with confusion. Formation leaders see planes vanish. No anti-aircraft fire visible, no enemy fighters. Just empty sky and falling wreckage. They keep coming because they don't understand the threat. Second salvo, 16 SM-2 missiles. Staggered launch. These target the middle of the formation. Torpedo bombers slower and lower. Hit rate 14 out of 16. 2 missiles malfunction or lose lock in sea clutter. Acceptable loss. The raid count drops to 86. Third wave of fires, ESSM, quad-packed 32 missiles from 8 VLS cells. These engage at 20 miles, inside the SM-2 envelope, but still outside torpedo or bomb release range. They're faster, more agile, designed for crossing targets. They don't miss 28 hits. The raid is now down to 58 aircraft. At this point, the Japanese formation breaks. Discipline cracks, some planes turn back. Others scatter left and right, trying to find the invisible enemy. A few keep pressing, either brave or blind. The destroyer's 5-inch gun opens up. Airbursts programmed for altitude bands. Shrapnel rips through thin aluminum and fabric. 4 more bombers tumble. CIWS engages the final desperate few. A single Kate torpedo bomber gets within 3 miles, tries to line up a shot. The rotary cannon track spools up, fires. The plane disintegrates in midair. Pieces hit the water. No torpedo launched. Total time from first detection to last kill, 11 minutes. Total aircraft destroyed, 94. Total VLS cells expended, 58. Total hits on the destroyer, 0. The second wave will come, and the third, and the Japanese still have over 150 aircraft left on their carriers. The destroyer has 38 VLS cells remaining. The math is simple now. Dominance costs missiles. And there's no resupply coming. Here's where the story changes. The destroyer just burned through 60% of its missile magazine in 11 minutes. That sounds like victory, it isn't. It's a countdown to vulnerability. The Japanese don't know they're fighting a single ship. They don't know it uses missiles. They don't even know what radar-guided weapons are. But they do know their first strike disappeared. And they know they still have 4 carriers and over 150 aircraft. So they adjust. Admiral Nagumo orders a second strike. This time larger, this time multi-axis. Carriers split the launch. Akagi and Kaga send bombers from the north. Soryu and Hiryu send fighters and torpedo bombers from the northwest. Total package, 112 aircraft approaching from 2 directions, staggered by 6 minutes. The destroyer's Aegis radar paints both groups. The system calculates intercept geometry. Problem, with attacks from 2 vectors, the ship can't position optimally for both. Long-range missiles work best when the target is heading straight toward you. Crossing shots reduce effective range and increase the chance of a miss. The fire control computer prioritizes the northern group. More bombers closer to Midway. First salvo against the north, 8 SM-2, 4 SM-6. Cells remaining 26, hits 10 kills. The northern raid loses its lead elements but keeps pushing. The northwestern group is now inside 40 miles, and the destroyer hasn't fired at them yet. The tactical officer makes the call. Switch to ESSM for volume. Conserve the last long-range shots for emergencies. 16 ESSM launch in ripple fire, cells remaining 22. 14 hits on the northwestern group. But that leaves 30-plus aircraft still inbound from the north and 20 from the northwest. Now the geometry gets ugly. The ship can't engage both groups simultaneously at mid-range without turning. Turning breaks radar lock on half the targets. The captain orders a hard turn to starboard, bringing the northwestern group into the 5-inch gun envelope while keeping Aegis focused on the north. The 5-inch gun starts hammering, automatic fire airburst fusing. It's effective but slow compared to missiles. 3 bombers down 4. The CIWS spins up as 2 Kates break through at low altitude, wave top level, trying to get a torpedo angle. The AWS fires. First Kate shreds at 2,000 yards. Second Kate launches its torpedo at 1,500 yards, then dies half a second later. The torpedo runs true, speed 46 knots. The destroyer's countermeasure system deploys a Nixie decoy, and the ship turns hard to port. Engines flank. The torpedo chases the decoy, detonates 400 yards off the beam. Close enough to feel, not close enough to kill. Meanwhile, the northern group reaches release range. Dive bombers push over. The destroyer fires its last 6 SM-2 missiles straight up into the dive path. 4 hits, 2 bombs release. CIWS engages, 1 bomb gets swatted mid-fall. The second lands 60 feet off the port side. The explosion lifts the stern, buckles a frame, cracks a fuel line. Not fatal, but the ship's speed drops to 26 knots. VLS cells remaining 16, fuel leak active. Helicopter low on gas, returning to deck. Another raid forming on radar, 80 miles out. The destroyer's still alive, but the dominance just ended. 16 VLS cells left, fuel leak contained but speed reduced. Helicopter on deck refueling, and 80 contacts inbound at 70 miles, closing fast. This is where modern technology meets old-fashioned attrition. The third raid is different. The Japanese changed tactics again. This time they're flying lower, using cloud cover where they can, and they've spread the formation wider. Instead of tight groups, they're strung across a 15-mile front. That makes targeting harder, more missiles per kill. Worse geometry for the Aegis system, and there's another problem. The destroyer's helicopter is stuck on deck. Refueling takes time, and the deck crew is working in battle conditions with damage control teams running past. That means no forward radar coverage, no sub-hunting, and no over-the-horizon targeting support. The ship is fighting with one eye closed. The destroyer's captain makes a hard choice. Hold all remaining SM-2 and SM-6 for terminal defense only. Use ESSM at extended range, then shift to guns and CIWS for anything that gets through. It's conservative. It's also the only way to survive if a 4th wave launches. First engagement, 12 ESSM fire at 30 miles. The spread formation means fewer targets per missile. Hit rate drops 9 kills. Cells remaining 13, the raid count barely moves. Still over 70 aircraft inbound. At 15 miles, the 5-inch gun opens up. Fire rate increases, airburst, contact fusing, mixed loads. The gun crew is excellent. They've trained for this. But a single gun can only do so much against 70 targets. Kill count 11, 60 aircraft still coming. Then the sea state turns. Swells building, wind gusting to 20 knots. The destroyer's damage frame flexes with each wave. Speed drops to 23 knots, maneuverability decreases. And worse, the rough water makes CWS tracking harder. The system is designed for stable platforms. A rolling deck degrades accuracy. At 8 miles, the first dive bombers push over. The destroyer fires 4 SM-2 straight into the dive column. 3 hits, 1 miss. Cells remaining 9. 20 bombs release. CDS engages. The rotary cannon chews through ammunition. Hit rate 60% in rough seas. 12 bombs intercepted, 8 get through. Impacts, 1 bomb hits the forward VLS deck. Explosion, fire, secondary detonations as 3 unfired missiles cook off. 6 cells destroyed. 1 bomb hits amidships, penetrates, detonates below the waterline. Flooding in 2 compartments. Another bomb near misses aft. Shrapnel shreds the radar mast. Aegis goes into degraded mode, forward coverage only. Torpedo bombers come in from the port quarter low and fast. The destroyer turns hard, but the damaged hull responds slow. Cerberus engages 2 Kates down. A third launches at 900 yards. Torpedo in the water. Countermeasures deploy. The fish runs under the Nixie, keeps coming. Impact, port side, frame 63, below the waterline, massive explosion. The ship lists 7 degrees, speed drops to 12 knots. VLS cells remaining, 3, Aegis degraded. Flooding, critical helicopter still on deck, rotors folding, too rough to launch. Radar shows a 4th wave forming, 60 miles out, estimate 50 aircraft. The destroyer fought brilliantly. It killed over 160 aircraft in under 40 minutes. But the magazine is empty and the hull is dying. Technology bought time. Numbers are winning. 3 VLS cells, 12 knot speed, 7 degree list. Aegis in degraded mode. Flooding controlled but not stopped. And 50 more aircraft 60 miles out. The destroyer can't win this one, but it already changed the battle. Here's what actually happened at Midway. The Japanese lost all 4 carriers and the battle turned the Pacific War. But they sank Yorktown and damaged the other American carriers. Both sides took serious losses. It was close, bloody. The outcome wasn't guaranteed until the last bomb hit. Now run the same battle with this destroyer in the mix. First wave, 94 Japanese aircraft destroyed before they reach Midway or the American fleet. Second wave, 48 more destroyed. Third wave, 61 destroyed. Total Japanese losses in under an hour, 203 aircraft. That's more than their entire embarked air wing. The American carriers, if they existed in this scenario, wouldn't need to launch desperate, uncoordinated strikes. They could wait, coordinate, and hit the Japanese carriers while their decks were empty and their combat air patrol was gone. Even without American carriers, Midway's land-based aircraft would face almost no opposition. The Japanese fleet would be defenseless. The strategic effect is massive. Nagumo's carriers can't strike effectively without aircraft. They can't defend themselves. They'd have to withdraw or die. The invasion of Midway fails. The timeline compresses. What took a full day of chaos in the real battle gets decided in the first hour. But the destroyer pays the price. Even in victory, it's crippled. The 4th wave will finish it unless it retreats immediately. And retreat means abandoning the defense perimeter. At 12 knots with flooding and a list, it won't make Pearl Harbor. Best case, it beaches somewhere, crew evacuates, the hull is scuttled. Worst case, a submarine finds it in the night. So what's the real lesson here? It's not that modern ships are invincible. They aren't. It's that dominance is temporary and expensive. Every kill costs a missile. Every wave costs time and damage. The destroyer bought the battle with its magazine. It traded cells for aircraft at a 10-to-1 ratio. That's extraordinary, but it's not infinite. The second lesson, numbers still matter. The Japanese could have won if they'd launched everything at once from 4 directions. Saturation works. It worked in 1942. It works now. Modern defenses are better, but they're not magic. Spread the attack, exhaust the magazine, and even a billion-dollar warship becomes a target. The third lesson, logistics win wars. The destroyer had no reload, no resupply, no repair ship. It fought alone and it fought brilliantly, but alone means fragile. One ship can change a battle. It can't change a campaign. Midway with one modern destroyer doesn't stay historical. The Japanese lose faster and harder. The Americans win cleaner. But the destroyer still dies because it's one ship facing an entire fleet. Technology rewrites the opening. Arithmetic writes the ending. If you want more scenarios where one modern platform fights a historical battle and we run the actual math on missiles, fuel, and damage, subscribe now. This is what happens when you strip away the hype and count the cells.